Hello, everybody good? Yeah. What a nice place here. Czech people here, make some noise. Okay, yo. 4. Yeah, I love Czech. I love Czech people. Like Eastern Europeans, they have their own kind of. Oh, was that the wrong thing to say? Yes. Okay. Oh, Central Europeans. Yes. Yeah. Anyways, whatever the fuck you are, you have a funny humor. Yeah, it's true. Like I have a friend, she's from Czech Republic, and we used to drink a lot of beer. Yeah, and one day I visited, and I said, let's have a beer, and she goes, I cannot. I was like, why not? She said, I'm pregnant. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, no beer. I said, anything else we cannot do? She said, no beer, and she said, and we cannot go to sauna. I was like, why can we not go to sauna? And this is how she said it. She said, because you boil the baby. I said, that's a very good point. That's a real weird form of abortion, you know? Yeah, they call it a Finnish early bird. Oh. Yeah, guys, it's okay. I'm not scared to fail. I'm not scared to fail on this stage. I've died before on stages. Yeah. I'm German. Yeah? You're Israeli? Boo. This is a funny reverse situation, eh? No, I really died. I died. I know. I actually am German. It's okay. It's okay. There's some of us who come with feelings, you know. Yeah, sometimes I cry, you know. Yeah. And but I've died on the stage before so hard, man. I performed in a club like this, was also in a basement, also where people were really concentrated together. And it was a funny joke, I know. Yeah, but it was a bunch of hippies, yeah, yeah. And I don't want to judge, but you can smell, yeah. You know, the ones with the dreadlocks, the bird shit, the whole, you know? And then I walked in and I tried to connect to the hippies, but I couldn't. I was like, Buddha's gay. They're like, no, he's not. And then it started weird. And I started to panic, so I started to shout at the people. Which, at a comedy show, is an old German comedy technique, you know? We call it laughter by force, you know? Yeah, nobody laughed, and I died. I was sitting upstairs at the bar after the show, and then the maniac came to me and he said, how do you feel? You know, the maniac was a really funny guy. I said, well, I think I died. He goes, yeah, you died. And I said, have you ever died on stage? He goes, man, I've been doing comedy for 15 years. I died so many times, but never like this. There's some Americans here. Yeah, you American? Look, I think this is not fun about America. I just think you guys are interesting people, yeah? Very superstitious. You have some weird beliefs, such as, for example, if you go to New York, yeah, in the United States, half of the hotels don't have a 13th floor because they're scared, yeah? So they go from 12 to 14, yeah? Right? Look, I don't want to be the smartest in the room, but, in my opinion, if you're in New York, in a hotel on the 14th floor, then you're on the 13th floor. Right? Or am I the smartass now? Right? It's pretty straightforward. You just have to be able to count to 13. They can't do that, you know? A weird arm movement, sorry for that. I have a friend, some people are really good people, yeah? I have a friend, he had a baby, his wife delivered, and he helped the midwife to deliver. And the midwife, after the baby was born, gave him feedback, and she was very proud. She said, you did a good job. You were here, you helped, you were present. That's all we can ask for. Because sometimes men cannot take the birth process. I'm looking at you for a reason, yeah? And because they cannot take it, and then run away. Can you imagine you give birth and he runs away? Yeah. It was just a rhetorical thing. Yeah. But sometimes they run away, okay? And my buddy looked at the midwife and he goes, I did not know that was an option. Yeah. Now, 2024 was not a good year, I would say, in terms of news. There was not a lot of good news in 2024. The only good news in 2024 was Germany legalized weed. That's good news. The rest, whatever you saw, I saw a lot of weird discussions about a potential third world war. All these politicians come together. Scary, right? They come together, they have these discussions, and they try to answer the question, how do we prevent a third world war? Right? And in one of the meetings, one of the politicians must have had a great idea. He goes, maybe we could give weed to the Germans? I think, historically speaking, that's our best chance. Yeah, we want to keep the Germans really high. Yeah, we want high Germans, not high Hitler. Yeah. Operation Wheat Schnitzel and Techno. Yeah. Yeah, I lived in Amsterdam for a long time. Yeah, I used to live in the red light district, actually. This is true. Yeah, I had a window and I looked at a prostitute in her window. Connection. Yeah? Yeah. It's really interesting to watch a prostitute work in her business. They have a normal lives. Eh? They play with their phones, sometimes they're bored, and sometimes they say no to their clients, which is important. As a woman, you want to be able to say no, even if you were a sex worker. Right, lady? Yes. It's true, and I support that. Very important. But it's also hilarious to witness somebody being refused by a prostitute. Yeah. There's not a lot of options after that. No. You have reached the end of the food chain. I'll never forget, Friday night, I look down, guy walks up, prostitute, she goes, no. And I'm in my window like, why not? Who's gonna fuck the guy? Can you imagine to be rejected? That's horrible. Like, she's got one job. She's like, no, sorry, can't do it. Yeah, that would be like going to a restaurant. You know, just the feeling. You go to a restaurant, you want to order food, and then the waiter walks up to you and says, sorry, but we cannot serve you because the imagination of seeing you eat is so disgusting. We prefer to throw the fish away. Yeah, so sad. And I talk about this on stage because I think it's an important subject and awareness, right? And I also talk to the guy in the street. Most awkward conversation of my life. Yeah, I went down into the street. I talked to the guy. He looks at me, what's up? I said, well, I'll fuck you. And he said, I'm not going to have sex with you. And I said, you don't need to pay. He said, I'm not going to have sex with a strange man. I said, I don't think it's your time to negotiate. No. So he ran away. And I ran after him, you know. And I didn't find him because we're Germans, we're good at that. Yeah? No. I went to therapy, okay? I didn't... I never wanted to go to therapy when I was younger, you know, it's too expensive, I don't know the guy, probably he didn't experience what I've experienced, so I went to therapy one day, right, and the therapist looks at me and goes, how do you feel? I said, well, I lost my job, and I think it's because I have a problem with authority, and that is because I grew up without a dad. And then the therapist looked at me and goes, you grew up without a father? Then you should be your own father. Yeah. That guy gets paid, huh? 6 years of studying to give you advice like, you just do yourself, huh? Be your own DIY daddy. Bro, that's like going to a homeless person and then you go like, hey, you need to be your own house. A couple of weeks later, I get an invoice, I swear to God, 250 euros for the intake. I was like, what the fuck? I didn't know it's that expensive. I don't have no money, you know? So I was like, 250. I called the therapist. I said, hey, Mr. Therapist, I told you that I lost my job. I said, I don't have any money. You need to be your own money. Yeah. But these kind of things live inside of your brain, you know, in the subconscious. And I remembered at some point. It's weird. Sometimes these things come back, huh? Yeah, I had a girlfriend a couple months later, American, kinky. Yeah. Yeah. So we spent a horny night. Yeah, it's dark and nice, right? And in the middle of the action, swear to God, she goes, "Tell me who's my daddy." And I'm like, "I'm my own father." She did not think that was sexy. No. And that's how I learned that if you have a girlfriend with daddy issues, you should not bring your own daddy issues. You know? Guys, that was my time. You guys have been absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much.